Well, by a couple of years at least. Brother in broadcast, Steve Azar. Morning, sir. How are you?
I actually wrote a few songs with Alex Harvey, who was one of the co-writers of that song you just played.
Do you ever play golf with him?
I did, and I beat him.
What?
He was a lot older. Hey, look, listen, I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
By the tune of 25, 20, maybe 28 years.
Yeah, well.
I can't believe I'm saying that was 28 years ago. It's ridiculous.
You'll have grandchildren before you know it.
I know.
How you doing?
I know what's going on.
How's things holding together in one of my favorite cities?
It's hanging in there. We're doing good. We're, been locked up like everybody else a little bit, but it seems like that we're getting to ease the restrictions, and I think everybody's paying attention to mostly, especially in the state of Mississippi, is paying attention to some guidelines, and hopefully that in the next 3 or 4 weeks we'll see that we can do that and live a normal life as much as possible.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Things are going to change. I mean, we talk about sports, but the venue of music, since we have you on the air, I mean, that's going to be just dramatic as far as, the concerts and things like that.
Well, it starts at writing the song. I mean, I write by myself, but used to co-write a lot, and co-writers really couldn't get together, but they figured out Zoom, so they could. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's amazing how you can adapt, but at the end of the day, you can't get in the studios. But a lot of us have our own studios, so we're able to continue to sort of move forward. And then, but the big problems are obviously restaurants and any entertainment venue, the people, concerts you go to, you think about our big arenas, you look at Brandon, you look at Landers Center, just so much around us that, and the Gulf Coast, the casinos, all their venues, the Mississippi State Fair, it's just, there's nothing going on. And so it's, I've never seen anything like it in our business. I've talked to a lot of our friends that, we all make most of our livings made on the road touring, and I had probably over 20 shows canceled already. Probably going to lose probably another 15. So it's amazing. What it is. Yeah. And hey, Paul, guess what?
Yeah.
I never knew I was so handy around the house, hanging like that.
Well, you know what your strong points are and your weak points are, to be honest. By the way,
go ahead.
I just want to tell you and commend you on, and I do the Mississippi Magic, and sometimes I get too busy to do one of those. And you're putting out 2 hours every single week with an interview. I don't think, and you've done it for so long now. I mean, you got a lot in the kitty. It's a tremendous amount of work that you put into that, and kudos to you. You've done a great job and built an incredible audience.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it's something that I guarantee something that none of us would have ever, nobody would have ever thought that it would make it past 4 shows, including me, and we're in our 3rd year. And I got to tell you, I'll keep saying this. I really enjoyed it. I mean, just getting to know my friends better, and Paul, the great stories are coming from everywhere now.
Yeah.
So it's not just from John Daly or Bill Engvall, Jim McMahon, and Grant Fear like I started. It's great stories like Randy Watkins and Sissy Gallagher the other day, and she's the only one in the world that's ever won 12 state amps. It's never happened anywhere, and and she did one of them twice while she was pregnant, one while she was really pregnant, and I'm just going like,
top
it's just
that.
Amazing, how greatness comes from people with such determination. And it's good to see good people succeed. So it's been a blessing.
Tell me about this event coming up, because this is going to be pretty neat now.
Well, obviously we can't make the economic impact. 25 states represented coming to the Delta, occupying hotels. We're employing a lot of people for our foundation event. We have one event a year. It's called the Delta Soul Celebrity Golf and Charity Event. So we got 30 celebrities that come in. Our sponsors have been incredible. They have answered the call. So we're doing a day of giving. And this day of giving is going to be tomorrow from 4 to 6. We got some personal concerts from some of our celeb musicians from their house. We're going to, talk to some volunteers. We got our sponsors that sent videos in. Celebrities are sent them in. So we're going to have a 2-hour program, a day of giving. So as long as we can continue to give to our beneficiaries, which they need it, and people are going to get to see who they are, a handful of who they are. It was kind of a good time for us to sort of do a reset and stop and just look and see what's been accomplished rather than keep going. And so what we've seen through these videos and what they've done and how compassionate and appreciative they are, in the arts for kids, especially because it's been stripped clean of any opportunity down here. And you and I both know what's in the water down here, Paul. So, and in our home state, I mean, Mississippi rules when it comes to art of all kinds. So, anyway, the bottom line is we're going to get to continue on. We're going to continue to give and donate, and that is so important.
What's the website on this one?
Well, you can go to my Facebook Live, which is Steve Azar Live. My YouTube Live will air it, which is Steve Azar Live. And then the Delta Soul Celebrity Golf and Charity Event page also Facebook will air it. And so it'll be good, and we'll see how she goes. It's we got a great start already, and I'm very optimistic about our outcome.
If people want to contribute, they know where to do it right there.
It's going to say text to donate. And listen, you don't have to. I want everybody to see what we're doing and who's coming, and some of these crazy personalities people have seen on TV, how much they love coming to the Delta, how they articulate that. And I'll tell you, man, it's pretty cool how everybody stepped up to the plate. Anyway, it's been a blessing. So it's I want to celebrate our big sponsors, all of them. There's
you
so
want to mention some of them, or you
Well, I can. Blue Cross Blue Shield. I've been a lifer. They've never let us down.
Yeah.
The Skin Institute. My buddy Dr. Kerosene is the best in the world down here. There's the Hartness Foundation. There's David Abney and Sherry Abney. There's Delta Ag. I mean, there's just so many down here. So they just don't stop. They just give. And I'm just so appreciative, man. The heart of a Mississippian. There's just nothing that beats any stronger.
No, it doesn't. You're absolutely right. Now, when does this start? Give me the template on this.
4 to 6, Paul. Tomorrow afternoon, Central Standard, our Mississippi time, baby.
Right.
And just go to my Steve Azar Live or Delta Soul Facebook page or YouTube Live, and you can just kick back and just watch it. And listen, I know nobody donate when people are in tough times right now. I understand it. So, if anything, I want people to see what it's all about. If you can give a little, great. If you can't, we'd love to see you and stop by and let you know what we're doing. And I'm starting to sound like a commercial now. I apologize. Stop by to see Perez today.
Well, no, listen to the full 2 hours and you'll double up. Get 2 for the price of 1. So there you go. Hey, by the way, I recorded this yesterday and I watched it. I haven't watched but one episode. It's Songland. I think it's on Fox, isn't it? The songwriters show that's on Songland. Have you seen it?
What is that?
All right. Well, then it's a songwriter show where BB.
It's John Rich and them.
Yeah. And it is amazing to me what goes into putting the song together. But how creative you folks are, and I say you folks because you're right in there with them as far as being able to do your own songs and what it takes to do this.
It's not that. I mean, listen, our minds are, I think, born to do it.
You got to be
trained to do it.
Yeah.
But then they were trained to do it. So I'm telling you, Paul, it's just like I'm never going to be on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm a 1.5, and you're a 10. Okay, at what you do. Not going to happen. This is how great you are at what you do.
Well,
I've been writing a long time, and it's just gotten. I hate to say the word easy, but there's no pressure anymore.
Yeah.
So, but you're trained. So obviously there's a gift. I believe that, but I do believe you can train anybody to write a song.
Let me say this: you're a lot closer to being the interviewer than I am the songwriter. So
I don't know. I hadn't heard it. We hadn't heard it. Hey, listen.
You got me on that. So.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
You becoming a recording artist and making a record. That's the same thing as me having a radio show. My goodness.
All right, man. Look, I appreciate it so very much. 2 Delta guys together. And, I love next time you're down, stop in. Let's go get some lunch.
I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. And God bless Mississippi. You guys have a great day.
But whoa. Who we got tomorrow? Do you know who's coming up tomorrow?
Listen. Yeah. Jerry Foltz, the main broadcaster on the Golf Channel, especially on the Women's Tour.
Yeah.
The Cornberry Tour, his old friend. And then John M. Barry, who is back on the bestseller list. He said, great author, wrote Rising Tide, wrote the great the great influenza.
Yeah.
Incredible author, lives in New Orleans now. Coached Tulane years ago in football. He's got a great story, and he says he's guilty.
There you go.
Guilty that he's back on the bestsellers list.
I think you heard it first on the Gallo Show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
All right, baby.
Steve Azar.